10 signs you are more attractive than you think. I've known so many guys that are good looking guys. They're in their 20s or 30s. They hit the gym. They're tall. They're well dressed. They're immaculate. They look really good, and they do their best to look as good as they possibly can. Yet there's a self-confidence issue, or there's a bit of a body image problem where they're not aware of how attractive they really are. And objectively, I'm looking at them saying, hey, wow, you are a good looking guy. You're in the top 1 to 5% of good looking guys. You're one of the best looking guys on the street here. And you, with a little bit of game, you could have pretty much any girl you want, but they don't believe it. And so I thought this video would be very helpful. I'm going to go through 10 signs that you are a far more attractive man than you actually are aware of. And if you see these 10 signs, there's a good chance that you are one of those guys that just has a bit of a self-confidence issue. Society's probably not giving you the recognition of your appearance that you probably should deserve, and that's hurting your self-image. So I'm going to go through those 10 things, if that makes any sense. Before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. If you want to get on with some one-on-one coaching with me, links in the description. Fill out that form. We can get on with some coaching ASAP. So 10 signs that you are more attractive than you're aware of. Girls often look at you. I know this seems like a little bit obvious, but if girls are looking at you and you think that they're just looking in your direction, or they're just, maybe it's you feel like there's this spotlight on you and that's just normal, it's not. If girls look at you, that is not normal. Girls do not look at guys generally unless they are doing something stupid. Unless you are doing something outrageous, you are very loud and obnoxious, or you are dressed in a way that makes you stand out in the crowd in a bad way. But generally, if a girl's looking at you and you are not doing anything that is not really normal in society, they're attracted to you, and you are an attractive guy. Take it from me. As a younger guy, I used to get a lot of looks, and now as I'm a little bit older, I get zero looks. I can walk around invisible half the time, and girls don't even acknowledge me. I can actually try to catch their eye, and they'll just walk straight by. Now, if girls are actually looking at you, that means that they actually are attracted to you. Number one, very, very important. Two, if you're in a shopping center, or you're in a cafe, or you're just at a party, you're in some sort of a social area, even work. If girls come into your personal space, they come in your personal space and they're comfortable within your personal space, and it's not like you're getting in their personal space. It's almost like they're within the vicinity of you, and they have no problem standing really close to you, even though you're not even talking to them. That's a good sign that they are attracted to you. And it's a bit of a vague one. It's not it's as simple as that. But if a girl is unattracted to you, she's repulsed by you, the last thing she's going to want to do is stand next to you. If a girl is within your personal space and has no problem being in your personal space, that's definitely a big tick. It doesn't mean that everything's going to go your way, obviously, but that's number two. Three, when you speak to girls, they listen. Now, especially in Western society, women have become more and more obnoxious and arrogant, and with the modern era of social media where in person doesn't really matter anymore, they just put some photos up and do some stories on Instagram, and they get millions of DMs, and everyone's placating to them and putting them on a pedestal. these days, if you speak to a girl and they are not attracted to you and they do not respect you, they don't know you, there's a very good chance they won't even reply to you. They won't even say anything to you, even if you say something to them in person. And if they are not attracted to you, there's a good chance they don't really care what you have to say. Quite often, unless you're in a professional setting and you are someone of value within the company, or you're a teacher or a coach of theirs, and you have information that they actively want. Mostly women aren't really interested in too many intellectual conversations these days. They're not interested in information, and they're definitely not interested in anything that you have to say unless they are attracted to you. This is just the way of the world at the moment. This is just the facts. So if you open your mouth and talk about anything that's interesting to you, and they listen and they want to hear more, that's a very good sign that they are attracted to you. Four, which is in line with 3 as well, but there's a little bit in similar, but they're different as well. They don't only listen to you, but girls will actually want to be your friend. They're interested in you. They want to be your friend. They want to hang out with you. They try to friend zone you, and they invite you out to parties and things like that. Girls only do that to guys that they're attracted to. Keep in mind that girls have access to every man, and what they do is they only pay attention to guys that they are attracted to, unless it's a professional setting or relative or something along those lines. But how it works is women do not want to be friends or hang out with guys that really they are not attracted to, unless you've laid it on the table and you've said, look, I want to be your boyfriend, and you actually put some time and effort into trying to turn her into a girlfriend or take her out on a date, and she's rejected you and then she's friend zoned you. That's a totally different story. I'm talking about where you haven't actually shown any intent towards her. You're not telling her that you're interested in any way, shape or form, and she's trying to friend zone you. She's like, oh, I got a party over here. Girls do not invite guys to parties unless they are interested in those guys. This is just how it works. So if you're getting girls that you have not shown any interest in inviting you places, trying to get you into their little social groups, and trying to invite you out to hang out and kind of act like they're your friends, there's a very good chance that they are attracted to you. That's just how it is. 5, when you enter a room, people notice you entering the room, and you might feel a little bit awkward. You enter the room and people turn around and they look at you. Well, if you are really unattractive and you enter the room, all the girls aren't going to turn and look at you. They're not going to be like, over here, oh, he's over here, and then they look at you as if you entered the room. And you might feel like you've done something wrong, you've disturbed the room, you feel like there's a spotlight on you, and you feel a little bit self-conscious. Well, that's you feeling self-conscious and everyone looking at you when you enter the room. That's not a sign that you've done anything wrong. That's a sign that everyone's eyes are attracted to you. They want to look at you. And why would they want to look at you? Because you are an attractive man. A lot of the times men misinterpret the reactions of people around them as if they've done something wrong. They've entered the wrong room. Obviously there are times where you've entered the wrong room, or you've entered the wrong space of when there's a group of people around and they look at you. But in general, if you haven't done anything wrong, you've just entered a room, like you've entered the library as an example, or you've entered a classroom and there's no teacher talking, there's no professor talking, and you haven't done anything wrong, and you've just walked in, and the girls turn around and look at you like this, there's a very good chance that you are an attractive guy, you've done nothing wrong, and they're actually attracted to you because that's why they're looking at you. Girls do not look at guys generally that they're not attracted to unless there's a real reason for it. 6 is a good one. when strangers that you have never met before in your life see you, they smile. They look at you and they just smile. Smiling and looking at someone and smiling instantly, it's like this natural reaction when you like something, you're attracted to it. When you see a beautiful girl, you probably go, "Ooh, nice. Ooh, ooh." Girls are more likely to smile when they see an attractive guy. Big time. Very, very good sign that girls are attracted to you. Something spikes within their body. They see a guy that they're attracted to. They might even go from just a smile to ha, like just spontaneously giggling and turning to their friends. If girls tend to look at you and smile, that's a good sign that they're attracted to you. If a girl looks at you and just looks at you and stares at you like this, it's not necessarily they're looking at you. They recognize your existence. They might still be attracted to you, but they're not at the level where they're just spontaneously combusting into attraction for you. But when they do giggle and they smile, that is a huge sign. 7 is in line with the others, is the double take. So the double take is very, very powerful. So you enter the room, for instance, and you notice a few girls turn and go, "Ooh," and then they go back to what they're doing, and then you walk in. You haven't done anything wrong. It's not like you've tripped over or you've dropped a glass and broken a glass on the floor. It's not like you're doing anything that draws attention to you. You're just walking, minding your own business, and those same girls look, go back to what they're doing, and they do the double take. The double take is a huge giveaway. If you get a double take, that's a very good sign that that girl is attracted to you. So if she looks at you, goes back to her business, does the double take, smiles, giggles, tells her friends, "Ha ha ha," you're pretty much in. She is literally fawning over you. That's how attracted to you she is. 8 is a good sign. Okay, now if you are an unattractive disabled guy and you are in crutches and you are literally, you're falling over on the ground, most people don't give a shit. I can tell you from my own personal experience, if you are unattractive, society doesn't give a shit about you. Now, if people around you, when you need help, even with the smallest of things, they will go out of their way to help you, that's a very good sign that you are not only attractive to society and valuable to that society, you are of value to the person that wants to help you. So for instance, how often do you hear about a girl that has she's broken down on the side of the road and she's got a flat tire, and you'll have every guy driving by stopping down, you have 5 guys stop, get out of their car to try and jack it up and get her back on the road. Well, would they do that with a very unattractive old lady? Most guys would not. That's just how the world works. And if you're an unattractive guy and you're lost walking around a foreign city, girls are not going to stop to help you out. But if you are an attractive guy and you're looking around confused, you've got a map in your hand, you're looking at Google Maps on your phone and you're trying to find, and girls walk over and say, "Hey, are you lost? Can I help you out?" There's a very good chance that they are attracted to you. If you drop something on the floor, how often do you see pretty girls drop something on the floor and all of these guys run over to help her? Now, if you're an attractive guy and you find yourself in situations where it just seems like you need a little bit of help, and then you get a bit of help from strangers, that's a huge sign that you are an attractive guy that these girls are attracted to. 9's a little bit more complicated. You find yourself in you find yourself in a lot of short-term relationships. They come easy to you. but they're short term quite often. You don't have a real connection to the people, and you feel like there's something wrong with you. Maybe you're not attractive enough. You get into these short-term relationships. They don't last very long. They kind of fizzle out. It all goes pear-shaped, and then you're on to the next one, and it's short-term. It's not very fulfilling. You're not really building a lot of connections with these people. You're having a lot of short-term, superficial relationships that don't really seem to go very they don't go very far. They don't last very long, and then you next thing you know, you're into the next one, and it happens so easy to get into these relationships. That's a huge sign that you are actually really attractive, but you are not mature enough or know much about relationships. You're finding yourself getting into relationships so easy because you're really attractive. And the girls aren't hanging around because you have nothing in common except for you being an attractive guy. And if you're not aware of that, that can hurt your self-confidence, because you're losing all these girls that you're dating in these short-term little things. But in fact, it's the opposite. When you really think about it, you're getting into lots of short-term relationships. You're having trouble keeping them because women not only need a good-looking guy like yourself, they need an emotional connection, and you're not able to really give them that emotional connection. It's mainly superficial and attraction based on you being an attractive guy, and that's the issue here. And that's also a huge sign that you are an attractive guy. So if you find yourself getting into short-term relationships but not really having the girl stay around, it's because nothing's really building, because you don't really have anything in common with her. You're not really working hard enough to get the relationship on the road, and because you're a good-looking guy and things tend to come a lot easier to you. They easy come, easy go, and that's a huge sign. So if that sounds familiar to you, lots of short-term relationships, and you feel like, oh, there must be something wrong with me, it's definitely not your looks. You are a far more higher value guy than you're aware of, and that's what gets you into a lot of these short-term relationships, is because of your attractiveness. 10 is a gold one, and I've seen this so many times, and it frustrates the hell out of me. You find yourself in a conversation with a girl, and because you're an attractive guy, you're not aware of you're not really used to having to push the conversation forward. You're not really used to having a girl just going, oh, one word answers, oh, yes, no, and looking at a phone. And then you need to try and get the conversation going. You need to spike it. You need to keep this conversation on the roll. But what happens is girls are asking you questions. Girls are interested in your mundane aspects of your life, and they're asking questions about that. Oh, where do you live? Where do you work? Oh, that's so fascinating. And they're asking questions about you. And it seems like they might be meeting you halfway in the conversation. They're actually investing in the conversation. That is a huge sign that you are far more attractive than you're aware of. And I got to tell you that the vast majority of guys, they do not have they don't have girls trying to meet them halfway in a conversation. If a guy is not that attractive, generally he will struggle to keep a conversation on the road, because women just, it's not really in their genes. It's your job to keep the conversation going. And very rarely women will actually meet you halfway or invest a lot into the conversation and ask you a lot of questions and try to keep this conversation going, even though you've hit like a plateau and there's not really too much more that you guys can talk about. If a girl is investing and she's asking you questions, that's a huge sign that you are far more attractive than you're aware of. So they're my 10 signs that you may be far more attractive. You might have a far higher mate value than you're aware of. I see this all the time, guys talking about how difficult it is to have relationships with girls and all different aspects of this. But really, they're actually really attractive. Girls are so attracted to them, and everywhere they go, there's signs that these guys are attractive. But sometimes I cannot get it through to them. I'm like, wow, you're an attractive guy. You've got the world at your feet. Things are going really well for you, and they don't really see it. So if you're one of those guys, and these 10 things that I just pointed out to you, you have at least maybe 4 or 5 of them happen to you on a daily basis, there is a good chance that your mate value is far higher than you are actually aware of. So if you like this video, click the subscribe button. And if you want some coaching with me, if you're an attractive guy and you're not aware of your mate value, and you feel that is holding you back, you're not getting the success that you deserve, you should definitely get some coaching with me. We can make some huge leaps forward and increase your success rate with women. Just coaching with me, I can revolutionize your dating life in a very comprehensive way, in depth. So if you like this video, click that little in the description. There's a little form that you can fill out, and we can get on with some coaching as soon as possible. Yes, so I'll see you guys in the next video.